Welcome.
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 Welcome to the A Bit of Everything podcast, formerly the A Little Bit of Everything podcast, but there was an imposter who also was named A Little Bit of Everything podcast, so we forged our own path, changed the name, and are starting fresh.
So today, a few things on the agenda. First off, we got Ben, who really walks that line between host and guest so beautifully, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of, Christians will say Jesus was the mediator between God and man. Ben is the mediator between host and guest, and I think that's really, an art. So we got Ben. Ben.
How's it going, everyone? I'm back for another shoot.
Shoot.
I'm excited.
Back on set.
Back
Glad
on
to have
set.
him.
And the real headline for tonight is Clara. Clara Tracewell. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi. I'm
So-
Clara.
So that's Clara.
She's my kid sister. She is here to answer the hard-hitting questions. We're really going to grill her. I will say she's a bit timid, but I think you'll have a good time, Clara.
She's gonna come out of her shell
Yeah.
today.
Hopefully. Yeah,
Hopefully.
I think
Will you grow twofold?
What?
Grow twice as large?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Very
so.
good.
Good start.
So, really, a little backstory to preface this episode. We're going to be doing something we like to call crony trivia. So, Clara has these friends, presumably from school.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that am I
Yes, sir.
would that be appropriate?
They're from school, yeah.
Okay.
Pardon me if that's a bit forward. But
So she's got these friends from school, and at some point, I think during the summer, they sort of just started being here at George's house, pretty chronically.
Yeah.
Sort of like a chronic illness,
a
but
bit of an affliction.
yeah,
Some sort of acquired disease.
Yeah.
Not a disease per
not
se.
a disease
but
per se, but
presence.
just, yeah,
to be
present,
sure.
Yeah. And Clara, I didn't really know Clara's friends.
Okay.
At all until I hadn't really seen them or known of their existence or knew their names or anything like that
Yeah.
until now. Well, until then. And then all of the sudden there were these cronies, we call them, that had infiltrated the premises and were sort of just, doing their thing.
Clara's cronies. There is 4 of them, I believe.
5 of
Yes.
us, total 4 of them.
5 of them total. They occasionally operate under the moniker Facho, standing for Francis, Avery, Clara,
Holly.
Holly,
Oh,
Obug.
Right.
Right, so there is that alliteration factor. Not alliteration per se, but more of a
Acronym.
acronym.
Yeah.
Yeah, alliteration.
Bit of
Not
an
as
alliteration there.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna test her knowledge, game show style,
Yeah.
and give her some on-the-spot trivia. If she can answer it, she'll be rewarded handsomely. If not, punished rather brutally.
Yeah. The first time one time, Clara was taking a video of herself, and George says, "Is that for Facho?" And I thought that this was some sort of love interest, like some like beautiful chiseled Spanish boy.
Of hers.
Of hers. Little did I know that this was, as George said, sort of a moniker of sorts for these cronies that I've come to know. So, Clara, first things first, tell us about Obug.
Just overall.
Obug,
Just-
she's dedicated her life to basketball, right?
If I'm not mistaken.
If I'm not
Take
mistaken.
it from there.
No.
She
She's tall. She's tall.
okay.
So, but no.
So she's tall, and her mother is tall,
Her mother is tall, and her father is tall.
and her father's
Her
also
father's-
so a tall family. I'm not. Is that appropriate for me
Yes.
to say?
Yeah.
Tall family. Okay. Let's just move on down the list. Frances.
She's short-ish.
Okay, she's short. What? What color is her hair?
Well, she dyed it dark brown,
Okay.
but naturally it's like strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
Mhm.
So
Alright.
so a redhead.
Okay.
Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holly. Tell us a little bit about her. What's her favorite class?
Math or I don't know. I don't know her favorite class. She's really good at piano and also
Okay.
singing.
Oh,
Too
okay.
bad. Too bad she doesn't go to like some sort of like private school from a Disney show.
Yeah.
Because if she were in that scenario, that could be her whole existence.
Yep.
Math and piano.
No.
Piano and singing.
Piano and
She
singing.
could
She
be in
could
a
be-
musical. She could
yeah,
be in
she would be in
Glee.
a
right.
musical.
Yeah.
She would be in Glee. She would be in High School Musical.
Yeah.
Now, does she enjoy playing the piano?
Yeah.
She does.
Yes.
So, why haven't I heard about that? Why is she not?
You
I'll-
have.
Well, I have now. But she never told me that.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Now, some of you will probably be thinking, "Oh, this is a weird topic to talk about," but it might be, yeah. But
And you're right.
you absolutely might
yeah,
be
you're
right.
absolutely right. But some of these questions just have to be answered, I think.
Yeah.
And there will be other topics in this episode, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we just got to get some things set straight first.
Yeah, we have to hash some of these things out live. Now,
Yeah.
Ben has been nominated as our let's call him our main man. Maybe we'll have a tendency to get too niche at times. Ben has been called upon to pull us out of those depths, bring us back into the audience's loving arms, and just find our way back to glory.
Yeah. And I think that's a really important, figure for any podcast to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ultimate figure.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, just finishing off this list,
Avery.
Avery. Now, what I know about Avery is that she makes her own clothes.
Yes.
So, when I found this out about Avery, I said, "Oh, Avery, I heard you make your own clothes." And I think she said yes. Is the response I think she gave. And then I said, "Do you know Kate Benzian?" Because Kate Benzian is my friend Will Benzian's sister. She also makes her own clothes. And I said, "Do you know Kate Benzian? She also makes her own clothes." And she didn't get that was a joke, I don't think. And that was kind of funny. I don't know if the joke was tremendously funny, but it was funny that you didn't get it. And it was just kind of like, "No, I don't know her." It's like, yeah, I know. So those are the cronies. George, or Ben, or Clara, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the cronies what are their go-to activities when they're here?
Activity 1A, giggling.
Yeah.
That is something they really don't seem to tire of. Activity 1B, putting on the soundtrack from
La La Land.
La La Land
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
dancing around so largely. And I think
So fun.
it's so fun, which is funny to me because it's like they don't know they're just playing the part of like young
Yeah.
teenage girls.
Yeah.
They're like, you're just doing it, and you guys think you're like, oh, we love it, but really you're just young teenage girls, and that's what you're like.
Well, we do love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think what George is saying. Well, he's saying that you're from a TV show.
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Do you take offense to that, Clara?
No.
Does that make
I
you
want-
want to cry?
I want to be in a musical.
You do?
That would be so fun.
Like, would you like to literally be the actor in a musical? Because that
No.
doesn't seem like, but like
No,
your
like,
life is the musical.
and then random songs happen all the time.
And there's the cutest boys.
Yeah, and everyone knows all the dance moves and all the lyrics. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
all the all the strangers, like you'll like someone will break out in song,
Yeah.
and then people can pick up their verses
yeah.
where they should be, and then the strangers will start dancing with you, and you'll form a big square in the middle of town hall.
Yep.
Um,
Not town hall doors.
so
the
I'm
cafeteria.
I'm
In the middle of the
anti-musical, and I'll tell you a little bit about why. I find it weird. I don't like Hamilton. I haven't seen Hamilton, but I've seen clips from Hamilton, and every clip that I've seen, you can say, oh, it's not a good enough sample size, and that's fair. But every single clip that I've seen has just been a bunch of guys, like, dressed up all wacky, like, having some sort of sass to, like, some other dude, and it's like, sir, you've no idea what you're talking about. And they are English.
They're American.
Well,
they're the Americans.
But they would have had English accents back then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's like the main premise is that just them doing that stuff.
Yeah, but
I
I find that Larp-y. I find and that is exactly what a play is, but
Yeah.
I think the fact
Yeah.
that they
It is.
It's literally live action role play.
Yeah.
It's a play.
no, and I understand that, but I think the fact like when you're in a movie, it's so immersive. Like it feels, if it's a good movie, it feels real.
Okay.
Like if there's good actors.
Mhm.
When you're in a play, it's just like, oh, that goofy little dude is singing again, or not a play, a musical.
No,
Yeah.
but this isn't not like Hamilton. It would be like La La Land or Glee or like
Yeah.
Teen Beach Movie.
Okay, well I don't know
You
if
know?
Teen Beach. I mean,
yeah, it's much better than Hamilton. Ben, have you seen Hamilton?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, Hamilton. No, I prefer Teen Beach Movie.
What did you think of Hamilton, Ben?
Yeah, what do you think?
I liked it. It was
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I wasn't like
It's good.
I don't know. I wasn't.
I think I'm with you. I think
I wouldn't listen to
Go.
their soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't like play like their music on
Yeah.
Spotify and be like, oh, this is
oh sweet.
yeah.
I think me and Ben I think are on the same side here. I saw Hamilton. I enjoyed it thoroughly while I was there. I found it to be quite good. That being said, if you're in class talking about Hamilton, I'm not gonna say, "Oh yeah, guys, I saw Hamilton, best show of my life."
Yeah.
Like I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Just to me seems like it goes a bit,
Also, yeah,
bit
just
too far.
just going back for one split second, Larp-y, it might not be so it stands for live action role play. If something's Larp-y, it's like you're pretending to be something that you're not. So the reason I say Hamilton is Larp-y is because like they acted like that in the 1700s, but people like that don't know. People today don't act like that. Like it's really like it seems
It's-
contrived.
It's
yeah,
a play.
It's a
I think
play.
you're describing a
understand
play.
No, but I think okay. The only thing I can say is that it seems like this. Oh no, sir! And it's just like you don't even talk anything close to like that.
You're just describing.
It's a.
I
they're
know I'm
acting.
describing a play, but if okay, I understand that. But imagine if there was a movie and every character was so freaking like over the top, goofy, like nay or something like
That's
that.
not what Hamilton's like either.
No, it is. It's a bunch of freaking men standing around in tights saying like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get sassy about taxes" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I agree, but I think we'll move on because I don't think we're getting much
Okay,
of anyway.
whatever.
Let,
You just can't win.
let's
Really.
let's get after Clara real quick. So Clara, I'll say this about you: you play volleyball.
Uh-huh.
It kind of took I won't say took me by surprise, but you kind of always played volleyball. Like you did your little volleyball, and then suddenly you're in high school and you're like, oh yeah, I'm on the volleyball team, and I'm like, okay, so you really play volleyball. What's that all about?
What do you mean?
That's not a good question.
Like when did you really get serious about volleyball?
8th grade.
Yeah. And what was that like for you? What was that journey like?
We had been on the same. It was basically the same team as like the year before, so we didn't have to like.
had that chemistry.
Yeah, and we already like knew how each other played and stuff. And,
Chemistry.
And we had the same coach, and then freshman year volleyball, it was basically the exact same team again. So that was.
And you're a physical threat, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? You impose, and what I'm trying to say is, you impose your will unsuspecting young girls.
Oh God! What?
You heard it here first. You make your physical presence known in a way that at times is uncalled for.
What are you saying?
I would even say rude.
I'm saying this. You're a big gal. You're up front. You're knocking it.
You're knocking heads.
Knocking heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
true?
that's right.
Maybe.
What position do you play?
Middle blocker. Which
So
is
you
front,
block in the
middle.
middle? Would that be appropriate to say?
Yeah, block and hit.
Block and hit.
What do these words mean?
Yeah, what do these words mean? Side out. What does that mean? Side out. Side out.
It's when the server misses the serve on the other team once you've gone.
When they miss?
Yeah. Side out. Right now. It's like you want them to miss.
Side. Wait. Would you chant that?
Oh,
Like-
I thought that
we
was.
chant that when we were younger.
If you're on, so
It's an immature chant.
You'd be on the court facing someone about to serve, and you'd start chanting "side
No,
out"
no, that
right
wasn't-
now.
I think the people on the
'cause-
bench would. Or the
okay.
people on the-
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, because that'd be awful bold.
Yeah, what about this? Ace.
That means if you serve it and they don't get any touches, it just hits the ground, or they get like one touch and it's an ace. You get a point.
Now, you must be feeling pretty hot as the server if you get an ace.
Yeah.
Who gets the most aces of all your friends?
My friends don't play volleyball.
Who gets
Who
the
would?
most?
I mean, like, I
Okay,
have-
who gets the most aces on your team? You don't have to say a name, but make up a code name.
I don't.
Just
I
make
don't
up a
know.
code name.
Bat.
Bat does. That's
the fact that you're thinking about it when it was
you
just-
could say anything,
Yeah.
and it could
I
mean
couldn't
anyone.
think of any code name.
Well, you thought of bat, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it took a little bit though.
Okay, so we know. So Bat is a good server.
Bat's a good. Nah.
Okay.
That's funny.
Just shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah. Here he comes.
Here he comes. Walking that line.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out pretty recently.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I have become a video gamer. Not a fully fledged one, but a youngling. And I downloaded the game Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And
Explain what that's about. Explain what that game is.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. First and foremost, I use the Xbox game console, and I have never tried to perform any task whatsoever on the Xbox game console without having to go to the Contact Us help website and like
Yeah.
have an online chat with some foreign man and like hash out my problems. It's like the worst system
Yeah.
ever. It's really startling.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Or well, George, I understand that you think it's the worst system ever, but I don't know of anybody who's had that problem.
Really?
So
It might just be. I feel
you might just be a little bit technologically illiterate.
inferior.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, also, I don't think you're like so bad. You also don't have anyone to turn to because none of your family knows anything about it. When
Yeah.
I'm not very good at the Xbox, but when I don't know something, I ask my brother.
yeah, big OT. comes
You don't have anyone like that.
in. Yeah, I have no one.
Yeah.
I'm all alone.
I have no one. Period.
Yeah.
No,
Aw.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's a video game in which you're a Viking and you take over England, and that's a sweet concept. Cause
Yeah.
I'm
A little boy.
well Ben has something to say on that topic.
Well, George, we're watching the commercials for the for the game that's coming out, and George is going, "Oh, Vikings taking over England, that would be so sick." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah.
I just think you're a little too. I thought you were a little too excited about it for what it is.
It seemed
I agree.
boyish, George. It seemed
Yeah.
boyish.
It's like you get so excited about Vikings.
It's
like
Yeah.
they're just Vikings.
They are
It's
just
like-
Vikings.
it's just like a
No,
thing.
it's definitely gonna be a fun game.
No,
I
but-
wasn't doubting that. It was just funny that you were
a
like,
little now I can do like, oh sweet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was getting.
Yeah. George has a similar attitude about football helmets. Where he's like, "Hey guys, have you checked out my helmet yet? Have you put on my helmet yet?" And it's like, I'll get to that, George.
Well, the
Let's calm down.
opposite from your point of view on that matter. I had my helmet. I got it like last Monday.
It's a cool helmet.
It's a pretty cool helmet.
Flex.
Speed Flex, brand spanking new. Got it last Monday. Had it for about a week, and then like maybe over this weekend, I was like, "Oh, Mom, have you put on my helmet yet?" And she said, "Finally!"
That was
Like
funny.
she'd been really waiting for me to ask
offer.
her to put on my helmet, and like didn't want to ask me if she could or just do it. Yeah, or just do it on her own time. She was like, "Finally!" I was like, she was like, "You normally ask me way sooner." Like, but I thought that was funny. Like, yeah, well, you
Yeah.
could have done it on your own.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be weird. She just like sneaks around your room and picks up your helmet and tries it on for herself.
And like creeps out.
Yeah, that might be Larp-y. That might be something we call Larp-y.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying there's never a time nor a place to LARP. But I am saying that watching, and I'm just gonna touch on Hamilton really quickly. I am saying that watching a bunch of men LARP for hours on end is
So-
not how I would want to spend my leisure time.
So basically, just all plays. That's
Yeah.
mostly men.
Well,
Or all musicals.
The singing
Yeah.
really takes
all
me out of it.
musicals, that's mostly men. You
But-
just wouldn't. You
All
wouldn't want
musicals
to.
in general, I
all
think.
musicals.
You
Yeah.
might be approaching this maybe the wrong way because, like, so the singing, I don't think the singing is supposed to convince you it's real life. I think the singing is supposed to be appreciated separately. So like it's a good
that's-
musical. Then a song's it's like, oh wow, she has a beautiful voice. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Good song, advances the story.
Yeah.
Now we're back into the story.
Sure, and I understand that, but that actually brings me to my next beef with musicals, and that's that the music sucks. I
No.
would never listen, and I mean this sincerely. I would never listen to any song from any musical ever.
What about like
In the
Another Day
world.
of Sun from La La Land? Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, it's fun if it's a
Okay.
little bit fun, but I would never listen to that.
Weren't you learning how to
Yeah,
play?
didn't
one
you
of the
play that on
Ah.
piano?
I mean, yeah, because I want to learn how to play the piano, but I'm not gonna like.
But I feel like there's
I
just
don't
so many other
know.
songs of choice.
But
Yeah,
no,
it's
okay,
interesting.
maybe I spoke too soon. I spoke, too generally. I would never listen to anybody singing. I think that like a really
You would
really
never listen to anybody
No,
singing.
no.
You spoke too generally, so you will revise. I will never listen to anybody singing. Period.
No, I would
That's
never
what he-
listen. No, because this is what just like in Hamilton, it's a bunch of grown men like sassing each other about taxes or banks or something. Singing in musicals is like. It's like singing and act. It's just LARP-y, dude. I don't know how to say it. It feels so not genuine. It like none of it feels like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
watching a real person
No,
do a real
I
thing,
could
which
get
is kind
that.
of what's cool about like I think that movies. I want to watch Good Will Hunting, and I think that movies about like I don't even know what A Beautiful Mind is, but I want to watch that
What
because
is-
it seems like cool and interesting and authentic and real. It's about some guy with like super freaking hot mind, super sexy
This
mind.
smoking hot mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This-
I should make a 10 of skydiving with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With this
yeah.
guy's mind.
Yeah.
It's a movie and this guy's just mind is in lingerie the whole time. It's like,
Scantily clad mind.
No, but
No,
actually,
yeah.
I do agree with you that like in some ways, musicals like they don't seem genuine, but also like the music in Hamilton was kind of just like insane because it was like creative and just like cool that like
Yeah.
they just made it like I don't know.
it was a big
Also,
groundbreaking.
Musicals aren't supposed to be like realistic.
I understand that they're.
Well, I think that's
I
why
think-
they like it as
I'm
much.
not
Yeah.
set. Yeah, I mean that's not like, that's kind of a point to my credit because it's like I'm saying I dislike all of the musicals for this reason, and you're saying they're meant to be like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
and
like
that's just what you don't
yeah,
like.
Okay.
I don't
I
like.
think
that.
you have to adopt a certain mindset. I think when going to see a musical, like it's easy to go like oh this is like almost be too cool for school when it comes to musicals. Musicals, I think you have to adopt a mindset where like you just got to be all in. Like I'm just gonna enjoy this and not think because you can
This is-
with any
yeah.
musical you can go like
Okay.
that's super LARP-y, I'm out. But,
What's-
like
what's-
you can't
yeah.
you just can't.
I think that musicals do the acting and the singing worse than like things that do acting and singing on their own do them. So like a really good movie the acting is probably gonna be like super good,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's
And
hard
a
to-
really good song.
You can't
It's gonna
really-
be like, oh, they friggin' did that music well.
Yeah.
When I go to a musical and it's like the acting is all like drawn out,
It's not the best of both worlds.
It's all like hammed up, and the music is all like. In Hamilton, it's like
Yeah, but I will say this: it's tough to compare movies and musicals because in a musical, you're expecting most of your audience to be seating like 300 feet away, and like in movies, you can get a close-up
Again,
shot and
maybe
be
just a
acting
systemic
with, like,
issue with musicals.
Yeah, I think you just don't like. I don't think it's something we argued. I think you just have a bias against musicals that it's just
Well,
not.
it's just
for
not.
you.
It's just
It's
not
just
what
not
I
for you.
like to see. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is-
debating about musicals is fun, and that's super interesting, no doubt. I feel like there's just a few more topics that we could touch on.
Oh yeah, we'll hit some
possibly.
topic. We'll hit this.
Um,
Ben, so we touched on Clara's volleyball playing experience, right? It's a bit of a not niche sport,
My
but
football- my
definitely not the
football
most well known.
experience.
What about your water polo experience?
True.
I would say.
tell us a little bit about that.
I would say possibly more niche than volleyball.
Yeah, probably.
Give us a rundown. Maybe like a position or like something along those lines.
Well, yeah, I played goalie for San Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it a lot for sure. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely different right now because of COVID. Obviously, like any contact sports, you can't really you can't do anything really.
Yeah.
Is
That's
it a
like-
contact sport? Yes.
Yeah.
No. Do you have like war stories? This is no.
Dude, that's such
this
a
is
classic
water polo.
thing that water
No,
polo has war
girls
stories.
girls who play water polo are always convincing everyone how tough it is, and I'm sure it's really tough.
I don't even know if that's limited to girls who play
Yeah,
water polo.
but- no,
I just
but-
think
but-
people who play water polo.
Yeah, it's true, but I picture girls playing water polo like, oh yeah, like it's ruthless. What happens under the water stays.
I'm
under
gonna
the
extend that to all water
Yeah,
polo players.
okay, yeah, I think
don't
that's fair.
know.
I think
okay.
that's fair.
My memory of people talking about water polo from elementary school is just everybody was obsessed with like, do they pull down? No, it's two things. One, that you have to wear a Speedo.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, I don't want to do that. And also, whether they like pull down your Speedo
Yeah.
in the pool.
So this
And
is
then
more like your guys' experience with water polo.
Yeah, I guess. Take it away. Sorry, our bad.
I don't personally have any war stories, but I've one time we were playing like this high school from like Bakersfield, and they were all like pretty big, and this one kid on my team is like kind of notorious for like kind of like messing with people, and he like broke.
Can we give him a code name?
Well, it's Kyle. His name's Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a senior 2 years ago. But he like broke the kid's fingers, and that was definitely out of the ordinary. But then the kid was also aggro because his fingers were broken, and so they both like rose out of the water and started just like beating each other up, and just like, and then Kyle, I was walking like up to the parking lot with him after the game, and his nose was like crooked, and I was like, oh Kyle, I think you broke your nose, and he's like, yeah, probably, and he just like, it was just like he was moving and it was like crackling, and I was like,
Oh,
should probably get
wow.
that checked out, and he's like, yeah, I think I will, and then he like came to school with like a mask, like a nose mask
Oh
on.
Yeah. May I just say, breaking someone's finger singular is, par for the course in sports. Breaking someone's fingers has something so like mafia-like about
Yeah.
that. Like
What if I treated you with a little bit of this?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, like just like doing something to their fingers and some
Yeah.
weird like all of them.
It'd be a shame if your fingers got
I'd hate-
rearranged.
for those pretty little fingers to get. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I
could-
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna like break someone's arm. I don't know. I mean, that's probably like
How did he break fingers? Like what did he do?
Grab them.
grab and twist.
Like was it?
Kyle.
This was intentional. by
Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle.
No, it's ruthless. Like as much as we meme on water polo players for saying it's ruthless,
That's
kind of
pretty
ruthless.
freaking ruthless. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
But that being said, the meme of water polo, that's still a meme. Like
Yeah.
like
tone it down. Like
I'll give you your due for getting your
I'll
fingers
give this
broken,
guy a
but
code
still.
name. I'll give this guy code name. let's call him Bearcat. Bearcat.
Okay.
We had to do a presentation in English about something, and he plays water polo, so he did his about water polo, and he said, like, next time you think your sport's hard, jump in the pool and swim a 500 meters, but which is just so silly because
I'm not gonna do that.
my sport, like, your sport is swimming, my sport's not swimming. Obviously, you're gonna be better at me than swimming.
Yeah.
It's like that's not a very accurate way of like being like, oh, you're not so big and tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was kind of like on the smaller side, and like I don't think he was very good at water polo. So that was kind of like, come on, guy.
What do you guys think is? Baseball players always say that baseball is the hardest sport.
Yeah.
I think that baseball is a candidate for the hardest sport. Here's why. Football is, if you're like a defensive back or a wide receiver, I feel like a lot of that is, it's obviously like training and specific route running practices and whatever, but a lot of it is kind of like athleticism. It's just like kind of pure athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, I think hitting a baseball is extremely hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think there's a difference between the world's hardest sport and the world's like most physical and like physically like enduring sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like difficult, and then there's like
Because like the world's
demanding,
hardest
I
sport
think.
might be like running 100 miles.
right.
Clara,
right.
is volleyball? Where are you making volleyball in terms of toughness?
Yeah.
Like, it's not physically a lot, like practices are or whatever, because it's like training, but like actual games, it's like you're not running a lot, you're not moving a lot. It's like if you're back row, you're probably going to be falling on the floor. If you're front row, you're probably going to be like jumping, but that's not like a lot. But it's hard when the hard thing about it is like the technique.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny, like the whole like discussion about that, because it's like if you've never played a sport, of course it's gonna be like hard for you to like any sport's gonna be like hard for you to get good at. Obviously, like it's just gonna take like a bunch of training. Like if I've never played baseball before and I try and hit a baseball from someone who's played baseball for a while, I'm probably not gonna hit it on the first try or the first 10 tries maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, it's just like it's kind of a weird like.
Yeah.
Just comparing like the hardest sport.
Yeah, I think it's really different. But
yeah, okay, go ahead.
I saw a list. I'm calling to mind a list I saw of the 50 hardest sports or most difficult
Seems like
sports.
There's like 50 sports maybe in general. I didn't know
Yeah.
that there was more than 50 sports.
All the hardest sports. It was like from ESPN, and this may be completely false, but I think boxing was in the top 3, which
I mean, it's but
which is, I think it could be the easiest if you're just a guy and you're like, oh, let me put on boxing gloves.
If you're just like a strong, quick guy. I mean, it's demanding, like Ben was saying.
But I think, like, any sport, once you get to the highest level of it, could be the hardest sport.
Yeah.
Where was water polo? Did you even see where it was ranked?
Oh, it was probably like...
Probably 50.
50.
Or not on the list.
Probably 51.
Yeah.
Ugh, too bad.
So, George, in the same way that if Ben is hitting off of an experienced pitcher, take the best corner on your football team.
We don't really have a great corner.
Okay, well, the best one.
Well, yeah.
Give him a code name.
Well, no, not. We already used Bearcat.
Bearcat.
Bearbat.
Bearbat. Okay. I run some kind of routes against him.
Yeah.
How many times out of 10 do I get open? How many times out of 10 do I catch the ball?
I don't know.
Well, give me a friggin' estimation.
Maybe you get open 4 times, you catch the ball twice.
Wait a
You're
minute.
surprised by
I
that,
was
actually.
expecting the catches to be more than the open. Why would the catches be less?
Because if you're
I'm
not
not just
open,
gonna
you're not going to catch it.
No, you said you get open 4 times, you catch it twice. What? I'm open twice and I don't catch it?
Maybe.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Wrong
you get
answer.
open 4 times. You get open 4 times and you catch it 4 times.
I'll 4 and 5.
You catch it 1 time when you're not open?
Yeah, contested ball.
All right.
I'm making my son. I make Mr. Bearbat Jr.
You get open 4 times and you catch it 5 times. How does that sound for you?
That sounds perfect, actually. It's
Wow,
really
that's
good
so
work by you.
interesting.
That's really good work.
You know what is actually, I think, or what I've heard is an insanely hard sport is like crew and rowing.
Oh yeah.
You
There's
should be like,
there's certain everybody who plays crew is nationally ranked. I'd just like to say.
Yeah, probably.
There's 8 of them total, and they're all in the top 8. Our mom, me and Claire's mom, did crew in college.
Really?
Yeah.
But like intramural, but it was still really
Club.
hard.
Club.
No,
I think it was club crew.
maybe.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, because, like, that's freaking cool. Just rowing.
My uncle rowed crew at UCLA,
Really?
Really?
and he's big and like still like he's ripped. He's
Huh.
He used all his muscles to row crew.
yeah he's.
It's interesting.
Have you guys ever read Boys in the Boat? Which is
I read that book.
which is pretty good actually.
Ashton's not much of a
see,
reader.
Books. In the words of Noah Huggins, they just don't do it for me. No, they do. They do. I find my whole thing with books is stamina. I'll get maybe 200 pages into a book and I'll say, what's next? You know.
Even if it's like a really good book and you like can't wait to see what happens next, and it's like always on your mind.
I
and you're
haven't
just like, I want to read it.
I haven't
now.
experienced that in a while. I haven't read one of those books in a while.
Claire, what are you reading right now, and what's a recent book that really got you intrigued?
Well, right now I'm reading A Prayer for Owen Meany,
That's a good book.
but I like just started it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, just like in 3rd grade, it was like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, and you were kind of obsessed with those when you were reading them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's like a non-renewable resource. Those type of books that you just don't like. I don't know how I'd ever find one of those
Or like Diary of the Wimpy
again.
Kid.
Yeah, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Just like classic books that you read as a kid. How do I find a book that I don't want to put like? I certainly can't find that with TV shows. Like TV shows that I just want to keep watching all the time.
You don't?
No, I watch YouTube and I watch
You
like
should watch
Parks and Rec or The Office.
Jane the Virgin.
You should watch Jane the Virgin.
I don't know if that's
It's a
my cup of tea.
telenovela.
It's a telenovela.
What's a
Ashton.
I seriously don't know if that's gonna do it for me.
No.
Claire? What's your favorite book of the past, let's say, few months?
I don't know. I don't even remember what books I read.
Cool.
I just read Looking for Alaska. John
Classic.
Such a good book.
That's the
Oh.
most classic name ever.
Looking for
It was
Alaska's
a-
a person.
it was
in that
good.
book.
Oh, of course.
And
She's like the
and
edgy. She's like the edgy girl.
Yeah.
It was good.
It
Doesn't sound good.
It was good, but it wasn't like one of those amazing. It was fun to
That's
read.
the book equivalent of Teen Beach Movie.
No, it's not.
It
no,
seems
no,
like it
if
would be.
Alaska
Do you
is
even
like
know
a
what Teen Beach Movie
no.
is about?
It's I wonder.
Okay, whatever.
Is it not a Teen Beach movie?
it's so much more than that.
It is, but okay, whatever.
It's actually, you know, really interesting themes and motifs in that film.
Such a deeper meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, I seriously like Trace Wells. I don't know if you guys know. In fact, you don't. Trace Wells kind of rave about things is kind of a meme that exists. So books, musicians, albums, comedy, stylings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that you guys, you know, have a long list of books that you couldn't put down. But I genuinely don't see, like, how does that happen? I don't know. Like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, those are the two.
That you liked?
What's yours,
Well, I
George?
mean, I was in freaking 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to like that.
Well, I'll like books still, but I won't be like, oh, I just want to sit. I'm not at the point where like, oh, I want to sit down and just read this like now.
I feel,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I am currently, like, I
George's
think
gonna-
4 of my past 5 books have been medieval.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Medieval.
George's thing.
I'm on a bit of a medieval.
Larp-y.
What would we call it? A medieval binge, a medieval bender,
Rant.
Yeah.
You're in a rant.
a medieval rant.
I
Because
don't know.
I read a
Well, yeah,
trilogy
he's
about medieval
sustained it.
times, which ties into this Viking video game. It's on my mind. It's keeping me up at night.
Yeah.
I read a trilogy about medieval goings on, and I am like halfway through the first book of a second trilogy about medieval goings on by the same authoress, rather.
I think it's just author.
Authoress, rather, which is a bit of a prequel,
Pre-sequel.
prequel.
It's
Bit
that.
of a prequel.
I think those are different things.
Pre-trip.
Pre-sequel and prequel.
No,
I think prequel is a.
pre-sequel.
Is it? Yeah.
No,
Prequel is just an abbreviation for pre-sequel.
I'm pretty sure pre-sequel is when it's made after, but it's before in the chronology of
That's
the
what
book.
you just described a prequel.
No, a prequel, you'd say, like, Harry Potter 1 is the prequel to Harry Potter 2.
No.
Am I...
Yeah.
I don't...
No.
Yeah.
Prequels.
A
What?
prequel's when it's made after, but it's before
Yeah.
in the chronology.
So, like, The Hobbit is a prequel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's a pre-sequel?
that
It's
doesn't
a
exist.
prequel.
I don't.
Pre-sequel is a word we just made up.
Yeah, I don't.
I've heard that before, though.
Okay.
You're-
Look it up right now. Look it up. Look up if pre-sequel is a word.
All right. I
Um,
don't believe it is.
What I always think of is that The Hobbit is a pre-sequel.
It's a prequel.
Yeah, I think it's a prequel.
Pre-sequel. I am.
What is it? Did you look up pre-sequel or prequel?
Pre-sequel.
Pre-sequel
Is this-
doesn't exist.
It's just a movie called Pre-sequel. Or what's it called?
Oh,
It's a video game called Borderlands: The Pre-sequel, which is just.
so boom.
No.
But that's it.
No, look up-
It's just a.
look
It's just a
up-
play on prequel.
No, I'm
look
right.
Up look up prequel now. Look up prequel.
Now I'll look up prequel.
Does that sound weird now? It sounds like quills, like of a hedgehog or a porcupine.
Prequel.
Good.
Yeah, a
Prequel.
prequel, a story or movie containing events that precede those of an existing work.
Wait, say it again.
A story or movie containing events that precede those of an existing work.
That's a prequel?
Yeah.
So what is Harry Potter 1 in relation to Harry Potter 2?
It's just the
The
first
book-
book of
it's
a
just the
series.
book.
Okay,
Before.
okay. Harry Potter 4 in relation to Harry Potter 5.
No, those are two very different situations.
I think.
By the way, J.K. Rowling, don't like her.
No.
Ooh,
She's been on a bit of a
cringe.
tear lately.
Cringe.
Bit of a cringe tear.
Yeah. If
don't-
you're
I
J.K.
don't know.
Rowling and you're listening to this, I'm conflicted. Do I have you on the podcast so that we can exchange ideas and I can, express my grievances? Maybe. Or, do I platform you and all your harmfulness? Also, maybe. Let's have a dialogue about this. You can email me.
I think
JK.
I think we should have JK on. I think she deserve.
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't deserve crap.
No, she doesn't deserve jack crap.
Yeah.
I think it might be nice to let her know, right? Really explain to her where some of this ill will stems from.
Yeah.
I don't really know if she's.
Well,
Done.
She said
She's
some
transphobic.
disparaging things about transgender
Oh.
people.
Yeah, which is very uncool.
It's weird to be a feminist but be like, no, transgender people, I don't like them. It's just
Yeah.
like, dude, just friggin'
And also, you just.
engage this whole wokeness 100%.
You just don't have to come out and say it. Like,
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
or
it'd be
how
kinda
like you see a
weird.
post about like a woman, you're like, that's not a real woman, and it's like, why? Okay, well you don't have
Whatever.
Just don't.
Doesn't matter.
Shut up.
It
Don't
doesn't
care.
affect you at all.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
it's
like,
why
it's-
just let them say it.
Just let it
It's
go.
Yeah.
also the whole like real woman. What makes someone a real woman? Like,
Yeah.
is it what's the woman? Is a woman XX or XY? I think it's XX.
XX.
Is that
It's,
Clara?
I don't know.
You took
Claire, you took chemistry.
I'm taking chemistry.
You're taking chemistry.
Yeah.
George, you took biology. That's more
Yeah,
biology.
George.
Did-
Chemistry
no.
is like
If there's any here's
Pretty
here's
sure
what I'll
it's-
say. Here's
I
what I'll
think it's
the
say.
XY.
periodic
I
table
think
of
it's
elements.
XY.
If there's any Ben Shapiro fans who say who subscribe to the whole like, well, it's not their biology thing, I'll say this. There exists a disease where I think a woman is XXY and they're like a masculine woman. I asked to Ben Shapiro and all of his supporters, is that not a woman because it's not the XX chromosomes? Right?
Yeah. Take
yeah.
that.
Those aren't
Ben.
traditional female chromosomes.
If
but
Ben's
we
listening,
we
we-
just call them a woman because they have the outward, they like that's what they want to be called and have that outward appearance and stuff. It just
anyone
doesn't
can be
matter.
anything.
You can just like
anyone. Yeah.
the whole idea that it has to be friggin' like lockstep with their biology. It's just like shut up.
It's a bit foolish.
It's like who cares?
Yeah, it's who cares?
The number one thing
Ben
for me is
Shapiro does, and
who cares.
Yeah.
If Ben's listening, we gotta have
We
Ben on the
do.
show.
Yeah.
Ask Ben
I
Shapiro.
don't know who that is.
He is a right-wing political commentator who
who talks
talks
really fast.
with a quite annoying, quite fast voice,
Yeah.
and
It seems to be like he's just trying to be analytical at all times.
yeah.
Yeah, like about everything.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah,
like
it's just hey,
okay.
cool it, man.
Hey, tone it down.
Yeah.
Claire, you're taking chemistry? You mentioned.
Yeah.
You liking it?
I got the
Yeah.
chemistry award, Clara.
Nice.
Take that.
So no, I don't mean that as a brag. I mean, if you need anything, Clara, if you need anything, maybe you're wondering, oh, what's
stoichiometry.
what's stoichiometry? What is what do you call it when there's two hydrogens and an oxygen? I forgot what that's called. I
H2O.
would be the guy
Uh-huh.
that you ask.
Right. Yeah, it's
Not
good.
But-
the internet.
Yeah.
I don't.
Call Ashton up.
The internet will lie to you.
The internet 10 out of 10 times will lie to you. What's your favorite subject in school?
Yeah.
Right now?
And then what's all your
Yeah.
friends?
Okay. Well, I have a hard time because I like math, but it's not like I'm a math or an English person. It's kind of just like it's fine in both.
I don't think you
Mhm.
have to be a, math
Kind
or
of
English
I know.
person. Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people like are.
No.
Or
I
they
think
say they
people
are.
people say that I'm a math nerd. They don't say that, but they like
Or
I
like,
don't
oh
know.
my god, I'm such an English person.
yeah. People will like strike a weird balance between pretending to hate school so much and also pretending to like
Care about school. so
care
much.
about school so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People do that in a sort of weird way.
Yeah, it's like I studied for 5 hours for my test last
No,
night.
you
At
didn't.
this point, if
No,
I
yeah,
fail,
no, you
I don't
didn't.
even care.
Yeah, first of all, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The whole thing at this point,
I-
after spending 5 hours studying,
I
if
literally
I fail,
don't care.
I don't even. It's like what
So
happened?
which is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You care so much you're gonna study for 5 hours, and then you just stopped
Yeah.
completely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like English. Like
Not an English guy.
I just no.
I think I like English more than math. My favorite class. Well, there's not many like. I would say I like English the best.
I really like physics.
Like just like generic.
I'm a freaking big fan of physics.
That's yeah.
I hate
I've never had a
physics.
class. I've never had a class like that, like an academic class like physics or chemistry, or like calculus or
You
even
went-
statistics that I've
Oh.
taken and been like, okay, this is interesting.
I
Let me
like-
explore
Have you
that.
taken AP Physics yet, George?
I have not and won't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The reason I'll tell
yeah.
you why I don't like English. I feel like all the questions are just just super. It's just super like open-ended type stuff. Like while it's in math, it's kind of just like there's a certain way to learn it, and like you just learn it.
Yeah.
While in English, it's just kind of like a gradual like you just get better. You can't just write an essay and just be like good if you've never written an essay before.
Yeah, you can't just like
Yeah.
know. You can't. There's nothing really to know how to do. You just have to like do.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I could see that.
And obviously, like you're not gonna be good at math if you've like never done a math problem before. Like that, I get that, but it's just like
You can learn a formula.
yeah. In
Mhm.
English, you can't just like learn like it. You can't just do like a cut and dry. Like you can't just have a format and then just like stick with that.
Yeah, I think part of the reason I get a little larpy when it comes to math and physics, and here's why. Here's how. And so, like in English, also, I think my essays are fine, but when we read like old literature in English, I don't understand it, dude.
Right now we're reading
It's also, like-
Macbeth, and it's not fun. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I'm reading something called Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and I'm sure your parents know what that is. Just
Probably.
because of reading. I don't understand it. I don't understand like it's freaking too complicated. Like part of it is just people don't talk like that anymore.
Yeah.
Part of it, I don't know if I am alone in not understanding it. I think a lot of people probably read the Spark Notes, which I do too. but when I don't read the Spark Notes, I don't even know what
You're
happened
lost.
in the book.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
That's not really like
It's
that.
almost just like different language that you're like, you kind of just have to like,
You
just learn.
Yeah, you see the letters and know what each letter means, but it's a different language when you put it
Yeah.
all together. It's also silly because like you learn that English, but that's just silly. Like
That's the stupid thing.
It's
It's
not
like,
functionally
It's
valuable.
not. Yeah.
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 It's like you're analyzing these old works, but like
It's like, why?
it's a lot. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot more valuable to you if you like
Yeah.
read current books or like
Yeah.
just did more good things.
Yeah. So.
So I guess I should be an English teacher after a display like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
More
favorite,
good things.
my favorite thing is like also like posts on like social media. It's just like, why are teachers teaching us y equals mx plus b? This is so like.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
that's classic.
This is so not applicable, and it's like, yeah,
That's-
but
that's-
it's just like math. Like it's
Yeah,
just, like,
you
it-
should have a bit of a
Also,
base there.
Y equals mx plus b is like totally applicable.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some stuff where I can
Like,
get it, but
yeah.
people say like, I don't need to know
Like,
how to solve for x, and it's like,
that's
well, you're not.
out-
It's not gonna
like-
like be a problem where you have to solve for x, but you're gonna need to know how to like
But that's a
do
massively
basic
valuable.
like
Yeah. Here's how I get Larp-y in math and physics, and it was like this to a certain degree in calculus last year, but it's like this totally in physics where I'm like this. Oh, okay, I'll try this one on for size. Like okay, this one's a challenge, but I think I can figure it out. And the reason I like that about math and physics is because it's like I feel like I can be. Like it's just the most like freaking satisfying feeling when I'm like not getting it, and then I just like freaking okay reset, and then I notice something or something that I
Yeah.
didn't before, and then I can do the problem, and I was just like challenged, and then I'm like okay I figured this out.
Yeah,
I can't do that in English. I'm just like oh does that suck, and it's just like I don't was what I'm saying making sense? I don't know. I won't know until I get a grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'm more. I take that, but I have for English like I'll write a sentence and be like, oh, that's not a great sentence. Let me write it some other way. Okay, that's better. But like when math, when it's like a problem I don't understand, I'm checked out. I don't have anywhere near enough motivation to be like, all right, let me re-examine this and figure it out.
I freaking love
know.
doing that.
Yeah, I think
That's like my main thing.
I agree with Ashton. Like, the thing is, it's so nice that like once you learn how to do a certain problems, then you could just do like an infinite set of problems.
Yeah.
Throughout, like with that.
Yeah, that's freaking cool.
And
What the?
physics is also like physics is like intuitive. I kind of like that. Physics like makes
Yeah,
sense.
It's pretty
Yeah, it just makes sense because it's
It's because it's like what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
yeah.
not rocket science.
In some cases it is, right?
Right. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I like physics. Don't like English. And I don't like English teachers. Sometimes English teachers get in a mode of like, oh, nothing you just said makes sense. And so like
what?
And-
Do
and-
they?
no,
They just
at
sound
least
like
mine.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's a grievance with English teachers in general. I
okay.
think you just had some really bad people.
They'll be like, I feel like, and I sort of get in this, if we're peer correcting, I'll just kind of look at everything with a lens of like, criticism,
Yeah.
where I'm saying like, oh, I didn't understand that, but like I understood it. Like they got their message.
What are you doing then?
Okay. Maybe this isn't
Is
as
he just being
That
mean?
seems kind of mean spirited.
No. It's not mean. It's just like I'm not being super charitable. You know.
Okay.
It's like, oh, they worded that a little bit weird, but I totally got what they were saying, and
And then you'll say, "I didn't get what you were
and
saying."
then I'll say this: You're so stupid.
God, I hate you.
That was a weird sentence,
Yeah,
man.
you just start attacking them personally.
Yeah.
And physically.
Yeah.
I'll actually throw some blows, right?
No, it'll be like, no, I just get in a mode where I'm not very charitable if I'm peer correcting sometimes, and the teacher's like, yeah, you gotta really, it's good for them for you to get critical or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like English teachers are in that mode constantly, where they're kind of like, I didn't understand that, but it's just like, okay, well, be a little bit charitable, a
Yeah.
little bit, give me a little bit of leeway, and you do understand that, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, one
Perhaps.
time my friend was correcting my essay, then he just goes, delete the entire conclusion. And I'm just like, okay.
So Ben, not a bad essay. What I will say though is that you should start over.
Not a bad essay. I see best results coming though if you burn this piece of paper.
And never look back.
Right.
You know, you sell it, build it from the ground up.
Build
Right.
it back from the ground up.
Right.
What? Let's say take everything you've written in this essay and
Scrap
actually
it for parts.
apply that to the next one by using absolutely none of it.
What you have here is a sort of a blueprint for what to avoid. And no word from this essay should be repeated in the next iteration.
Right, so we've got our worst case scenario. I think it's good to get out of the way
Yeah,
this
so
early.
this is a very, very rough draft.
Yeah.
No, we should just use none of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's not necessarily English teachers in general. I've had some good English teachers.
Yeah, I like my English teacher right now.
I had this one teacher in elementary school, and George, I think you'll know who I'm talking about, but I won't say her name.
Give her a code name.
Code name.
Her code name is Bumblebee.
Oh.
Okay.
If you have any former Peabody alums, you might be able to
it
decipher
doesn't-
that one.
It's not okay. I know what you're thinking.
But it's not. It doesn't correspond.
It's not the teacher whose name phonetically sounds like that. Oh,
Alright.
and it's 7:43. Okay. It's 7:43 on November. What's it? That's kind of.
November
It's the
10th,
11th.
11th.
It's
Doesn't matter.
7:43 on November.
What are you doing?
11th. Just kind of a fun thing. I had this. It's not. Yeah, it's not the teacher that sounds like that. That's too good. I came up with another code name that's too similar.
Do it.
Do it.
Doesn't matter.
Baguette. Oh.
I still don't know.
Okay,
but it doesn't
that's
matter.
good. And this teacher
Oh.
would ring her little bell and then say like a second later, "Oh, I rang the bell, so your mouth should be shut." And it's just
That's
like,
just mean to like little kids.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a. Why don't you guys comment on your experiences with that? But teachers in general, or just like in middle school and elementary school, you're kind of like often afraid of teachers or or like just like people, adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's like they're these big people.
Because they're so much older and like physically larger.
Yeah, but now it's like
I mean,
we're not
they were-
equals.
they're
but
still
I could
older by a
no, but it's
lot.
like I have the world experience to like picture myself in their shoes a little bit.
Or just like hold a conversation better.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Yeah, you're not peers, but you can at least converse and you can like have a relationship.
Yeah. That's something. I
All right.
guess.
All right, so I think we're winding down here. We've gone for about an hour. Pretty solid episode 2. Hope you loved it.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell
That's cringe.
for
George, don't
for
do that.
maximum video.
You're overstaying. You're welcome. Yeah, here, George.
Video.
Yeah, well, it is a YouTube video, but it's just
It's a recording.
it's a recording. Guys,
So-
we'll be back at you with another episode later this week with any luck, or sometime after that if our plans fall through. Hope you loved it.
I don't think they'll fall through.
They won't fall through. Yeah, but
Those
just in
plans
case.
are on the sturdiest ground that I've seen in a while.
Yeah. If you want a keyword this week, let's call it crabapple.
Crab. I was actually gonna say applesauce. So just
Crabapple sauce.
you know, funny that
DM us crabapple sauce to win a special prize.
Now, yeah, we said that if you said banana at the end of the last one, that was a one-way ticket to the podcast.
It's
I'd like to
not.
formally retract that statement.
If anyone has
no, it's not.
DM'd us banana and expected to get on the podcast,
No.
it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's really too bad, but you won't be coming on.
Yeah.
It depends on
Part
who
of
it
that is
George.
because we're booked solid for the next 3 years.
Right.
Part of that is because we just realized it was not a good idea to do that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Because anybody can listen to the whole thing,
Yeah.
and not
We
we
don't
don't want to
want
have
anyone on the
just
pod-
anybody on the podcast. Although we do want a lot of people.
Yeah, we'll have a wide variety, I guess.
Yeah, we'll
Clara?
have.
Any closing statements?
If Harry Styles DMs you banana, he has to come on the podcast.
Respect.
He's
Well,
listened to the first episode.
That's a
Yeah.
scenario where he's not getting on the podcast because he DM'd us banana.
No.
He's getting on the
Well, how would
podcast
you-
because he's.
How would you know if he listened if he didn't DM you banana?
Well, right. I guess it's like, yeah, it's
Well, crab
indirectly
applesauce.
because he
Crab
DM'd us banana, but it's not like, oh, he DM'd us banana.
Yeah.
Oh, who's this fella? He DM'd us banana. Let's get him on the podcast. It's like, it's a sign that he's listening to the podcast,
That'd be
so let's get him on the
insane.
podcast.
Ben,
Yeah,
I
if
mean-
Harry Styles came on the podcast, what's my question here? Would you listen to it?
Yes, I would probably be here.
So
hopefully.
interesting.
Would you? What if he said, "I'll do it, but I can only come to Ashton's house." Clara freaks me out. What if he said that?
That'd
Would
be
you
a
be
bummer,
hurt?
but I would probably just go to your house.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't let you in.
Okay, maybe
Per
I
Harry's
wouldn't do
wishes.
that because that would be like stalking or something.
Okay, yeah, that's.
You
I'd
might
just
get
listen to
charged.
a podcast.
Yeah.
Alright. Ben, any closing
yeah.
thoughts?
No, not really. It's been a pretty good Veterans Day.
Beautiful
True.
weather today. Shouts out to all the troops.
Shouts out them troops.
See you guys. Hopefully Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe Friday. A bit of everything podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Signing off.
Signing off.